For John Berry, the future of the Alliance rests on the strength of our education. And that's one of the reasons why the American-Australian Association supports grants for scholarship.
Well, you know, we are actually older than the ANZUS Treaty itself. You know, it's really exciting. We're coming up on our 75th anniversary. And it's a wonderful organization. It's been involved in sort of business engagement between the two countries since, you know, the time of the ANZUS Treaty, and is now sort of one of the larger of the educational grant makers between the two countries. So we support scholars in the graduate studies and in their postdoc research. We support veterans and we support artists. And in all three of those programs, we have a very active, dynamic Indigenous component. And I'm really proud to say we've now crossed $14 million this year and over 900 grants. And our goal, the board of directors, is hoping to even double what we're awarding. So we're putting together an aggressive new strategy for the 75th anniversary.
Scholarship is as important to educators on both sides of the Pacific. At Torrens University, CEO Linda Brown sees education as nothing short of a human right.
I think education's critical to the Alliance. You know, if you go back and look at America and you look at Australia, we believe that in every country in the world, people get free education and have a right to education. And that's just not the case. We take that for granted.
An injection of American investment as well as the culture of entrepreneurship is making it happen at Torrens.
That American-Australian alliance has been critical in creating the DNA for Torrens University and the differentiation. And that just doesn't come from the owners. We had Laureate and now we've got SEI, although that is critical. It comes from our relationships from the embassies, from AmCham, from Google. Flew to America to have a meeting with my boss when we were talking about creating a university. And I've still got that on tape about what they wanted from a brand new university in Australia. Twitter support us, Salesforce support us, IBM supports us. So all these American corporates, we created this university to be industry's university. We are a business. We're proudly a business. We employ 2,000 people, and we turn over, you know, nearly $400 million now. We'll be $1 billion by 2025. We sold it for the highest value ever for an education establishment during COVID. First time to sell a university. So for me, that entrepreneurship alongside that absolute driven passion and purpose is what makes Torrens special. And I thank every single one of our 2,000 staff who's come with us on our journey and the 20,000 students that we've got now, because we're creating something special that is a true alliance.
When COVID struck, Torrens quickly arrived at the decision to keep lecturers teaching and their students learning.
So from our side, it was very much a matter of stabilizing, then based on the stability, start to communicate, engage, and create a more predictable context.
Torrens was uniquely placed in already having a strong online learning platform.
Of course, in an environment like this, the first thing is that you consolidate around the capacity you have. And because we already had well-developed capacity in the online environment, we were able to say what is the potential and how strong is our potential in order to expand on this. And we, for that reason, immediately went into a process to firstly look at the potential to put all our students into the online mode, which we successfully did by using our learner management system and the full capacity of our learner management system, which assisted us tremendously. For example, if you look at learning resources in the library, we expanded significantly in that space.
For the university, it was an opportunity to deliver further innovation that could help all higher education providers.
So one of the things that we did that I was super proud of is that we were going to run the careers fair, as we do for Australian school kids, because I was really worried that there was this generation who were not going to school. They were in year 12. They were worried, am I going to get a university place? Is university going to be open? And we really cared, and we wanted to make sure that they knew they had a future and they had an opportunity and they had hope. So we'd already, because we had the smarts, created an online event for school children across Australia. And then we thought, this is not fair, because choice is important to us, and it's not just about coming to Torrens. So we put this whole careers fair together.
Year 12 students are invited to Australia's first ever virtual National Careers Expo.
And we had over 28,000 school-age children come and join that. So for me, that's the type of muscle or the type of additionality that has differentiated us during COVID.
I think over and above creating the systems issues, making sure that the processes and so on work, we learned one very important thing, and that is the human factor. In an environment, in a situation like this, the understanding of the people involved, understanding their aspirations, making sure that you're transparent, that you're consistent, and that people remain convinced that you don't compromise on quality or the integrity of your program. So the human factor in this case became very, very important for us to manage and make sure that we find that balance between systems, processes, and the human beings involved in the process.
Over the period of the pandemic, we've all learnt a lot about ourselves and also who we can rely on and turn to when things get tough. For the nation too, there appears to be growing clarity on who we can trust in the Indo-Pacific for the challenges that lie ahead.